No, I won't make you. I won't make you negotiate Otani's contract here quite yet. We'll wait till maybe April when you negotiate Otani's next contract. But dive into the Giants offseason. Everybody's going to talk about who they missed out on. I want to hear what you have to say of who they got, because I think there's some intriguing players in there. But I first want to hear who you have to say, and do you think they are better than the team they were last year?
Well, the focus, obviously, Eric, has been on the two guys they didn't get, Aaron Judge, Carlos Correa. And that's understandable. They're two of the best players in the game. But they did sign seven free agents for almost $200 million. Now, one of them was Jock Peterson on a qualifying offer, but they also brought in Michael Conforto and Mitch Haniger for the rotation, Sean Manaea and Ross Stripling, and then in the bullpen, Taylor Rogers. So that's a pretty impressive haul. And I forgot Luke Jackson. He was in that mix as well in the bullpen. They feel that their roster, Gabe Kapler actually told me this, is the best it's been at this point since Kapler got there. Now I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. 2021, you won 107 games. And his point was we're deeper. And they feel also that their young talent is better than it's been in recent years. They've got some guys coming. They even like their Rule 5 pick, the catcher. So I don't know how confident they actually should be. Are they the Padres? No. Are they the Dodgers? No. But they feel their rotation in particular is incredibly deep. They've got the five starters, they've got guys behind them, including the prospect Kyle Harrison. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out for them. The one flaw that they have is defense, and they didn't really address that. And that, of course, could be a fatal flaw for a team. But at the same time, if you guys remember last year, just right at this time, what were guys like me writing about? The Phillies defense stinks. They're going to be terrible because of it. Even with all the slugging, it's going to be a problem. It was a problem at times, but it also got better. And they did some different things, brought in some different players. Bryson Stott got in the mix. And obviously, they had a pretty good year.
Ken, I like their rotation. I don't love it. The Rodon loss, I think, is going to be huge. He was so good for them last year. I like generally what they did, getting the quantity. Definitely was quantity over quality. Here's the problem I have when I talk to Giants fans. They missed out on the two guys you just mentioned, right? They've went after Bryce Harper in the past. They've went after Giancarlo Stanton in the past. I like having the depth and making sure you have a really solidly stacked roster like this. But I mean, I'm in Orlando now most of the time here with AJ, and the Tampa Bay Rays have more of a franchise player than the San Francisco Giants do, and say a Wander Franco, even though he really is early on in his career. I think is it fair to say a franchise player problem? You don't need it to be a champion, but San Francisco is such a big, strong market. I think they feel a little bit, I don't want to say embarrassed, but they're like, where are our superstars that we can talk about for the next 5 to 10 years, especially when they're looking over at a team like the Dodgers and a team like the Padres now? That's the one thing. I'm not saying that it definitely correlates into wins, but do you think that it's something that's bugging the San Francisco Giants organization, or does Farhan Zaidi and company just not care about that and they're just looking at piling up wins?
Scott, that observation is entirely fair. Let's face it, they know it. They went after Judge. They went after Correa, and their intention in both cases, they had an agreement with Correa, was to bring in that type of player. They are missing somewhat of an identity. They need a face of the franchise. Since Buster Posey left, they haven't had that guy. And even Buster, great player, potential Hall of Famer, he was one guy, right? So it is something they tried to address this offseason. They didn't address it. The point of what they're saying is they still think their team will be very competitive. And I can see scenarios where that indeed will be the case. I'm with you on Rodon. I agree the rotation is mostly beyond Webb, twos and threes and fours, really. But at the same time, it is about winning. And in 2021, yes, they had Posey and they had Brandon Crawford, who, of course, has been there forever, and Brandon Belt. But they weren't really a star laden team then. And they did it in a way that was a little bit different. So, left with what they have, and what they have they like, they're going to have to go about it this way. But I would expect that they will play for Ohtani in the offseason. like everyone else, and they're going to keep trying for superstars. It just hasn't lined up for them yet.